It's a new year, and it's the opportunity for many people around the globe to take on something new, try a challenge, or better yourself in some way. People choose the vegan diet for many different reasons, mainly because of animal welfare, but also to be kinder on our environment. There is also, though, some health benefits too, lowering our cholesterol, lowering our blood pressure, and also reducing our risk of type 2 diabetes. So it's always been a diet that I've been interested in. I've always wanted to try it. I've never been a vegan or a vegetarian in my entire life. Yeah. So this is gonna be a massive challenge for me, and I am 100% going to make some mistakes along the way, but I'm gonna do my absolute best to stick to the strict regime of the vegan diet. Now I'm gonna be doing some weekly vlogs over on the GCN show, so you'll be able to see how I'm getting on, what recipes I'm cooking. That should be interesting. As well as being curious, I'm also curious about the physical aspect too. If my body changes in some way or another from the start of the month to the end of the month. So I'm gonna be doing certain tests throughout, at the beginning and at the end, and on episode 2, you'll be able to see all the results. So stay tuned to the end of January. And to help me with the quest of going vegan for a month is this. Yep, our GCN plant-based cyclist book. I'm gonna be using this to help me through some of those menus on a day-to-day basis, but I'm also going to talk to the author of the book, Nigel Mitchell, World Tour nutritionist, so hopefully he can give me some tips and tricks. Right, enough chatting about it, I better head to the kitchen. Before taking on this vegan diet, my favourite breakfast was a full English breakfast. Eggs, bacon, sausage, the full works. But as of today, it's out with the old and in with the new. But before I start, I should probably get some advice from a professional, Nigel Mitchell. So let's catch up with him. So I've got a whole host of different questions for you. So hopefully you can give me a head start and some top tips when it comes to going vegan. What would you say are my first steps when it comes to even thinking about going vegan?
So I think really the first things is looking at, what are your motivations for doing this? And for a lot of people, it's really thinking about the environment, it's thinking about animals. So it's thinking about why is it that you're wanting to make these changes and being quite clear about it. And for you as an athlete, then really, because you're looking at doing this for a month, the primary thing there is going to be mainly around protein. And ensuring that you're getting good quality, adequate protein is look at mixing different vegetable proteins together. So a mistake could be, let's say currently for breakfast you have porridge with milk and some yogurt on it, and you just went straight away to have porridge made with water. You're losing out on all that dairy protein. But if you were to use instead, let's say, soya milk, then you're getting really good quality protein from soya that contains all of the essential amino acids.
I'm kind of curious to find out, is one, can I lose that Christmas weight I've been putting on since a year ago? And also, so can I kind of lose those weight, but also can I hold on to the lean mass I've got? Or maybe even build some muscle without having the protein source that I've been used to, which has obviously been through meat.
Yeah, so there's no problem at all in substituting the animal-based protein for vegetable-based protein. And again, within the book, we've got some tables looking at different protein amounts from different vegetable foods, so that you can ensure that you're getting adequate protein there. When we are looking at losing body fat, increasing lean tissue, then to lose the body fat, we need to be in a negative energy balance. And so we're going to a negative energy balance by either eating a little bit less calories or by increasing our physical activity, or a combination of both. Now, the problem can be is that if we're not getting the right stimulation for the muscle, so if you're doing some strength work, then that is telling the muscle fibre to actually look to, if not necessarily grow, but at least to maintain. And so the protein then becomes really important in that it's helping that regeneration and that restoration of the muscle. But I would imagine that if what you're doing by going onto your plant-based plan, that you're cutting out all of the animal source foods, then the biggest things that you're really changing there is going to be some of the proteins and the fat side of it. So that probably will not compromise the carbohydrate side that much. And the thing with a plant-based diet, you can really achieve all of the carbohydrate that you require from that. So again, what I tend to recommend is that we look at whole type of food approaches. So for example, using things like quinoa and spelt and rice. And again, one of the recipes in the book is around mixed grains. So you mix these grains together, and again, we get really good carbohydrate, but also because these are all whole grains, we're getting protein and we're getting vitamins within it as well. So it's more complete. So there's some of the examples in the book that can help with that there.
Right, that is absolutely amazing. It's just for January, but I'm going to see how I get on and hopefully move it into February if we see good results.
Well, I mean, when I, part of the research I did for the book, I did a very strict plant-based diet for 3 months. And before that, every single meal I had some animal product in it, you know, everything, it'd be yogurt or egg or whatever, everything. And it really fundamentally changed the way that I eat, in that, you know, I'm not a vegan, but I eat so much less animal-based foods than what I used to do, and this is just by choice now, because I just. I mean, one of the things you were saying to me before was that you're not great at cooking, and the fact that it challenges you around the cooking is a really positive thing.
Good, thank you so much, Nigel, and I'll catch up with you after I've got my blood results and after I've tried a few of your recipes.
Yeah, so the one thing you're going to want to see is in there, in the fridge. Every Cribs show, it's always interesting to see what's in someone's fridge. The alcohol can stay there. I don't know how much of it will get drunk. A few beers, they're vegan, I think. A cheesecake, that's not vegan. Cheese, yogurt. So more cheese, I've got some cheddar in there. Sausages, yeah, definitely not vegan. Cod fillets. Not vegan. Chutney is always good with the curry. Olives are vegan, they can stay. The one thing I have got though that is vegan is a vegan block. I don't know where that came from. Vegan mayo. I don't know where that came from either, but that can stay. That can go. British beef. And they got beef on them. Well, that was awkward. My fridge is officially vegan. Oh no, that's not vegan. So now, my fridge is officially vegan and it's pretty empty, so I better go shopping. So yes, my fridge has become very empty. So I'm on the way to the supermarket to replenish my fridge with vegan food. And I'm not going to go in there blind. No, I've enlisted in some help, and that help has come in the form of my mum. Yeah. She's been a vegan for getting on 10 years, and every one of those 10 years, she's tried to persuade me to go vegan, to see the health benefits, but also to just have a healthier diet. So here we go, I'm off to go shopping with my mum. Yeah. So I've made it here to the supermarket, and as I said before, I'm going to introduce you to, well, you've seen Hank's dad, and why not see Hank's mum? I've got some expert advice, someone who knows more about veganism than most people. You've done 10 years of vegan, haven't you?
10 years, yeah.
10 years.
15 years of vegetarian and 10 years of vegan.
And how long have you wanted me to go vegan?
A long time.
A long time. So I guess now's the time. You're going to show me some tips and tricks, what to get, and well, hopefully I can go away from the sausages and the bacon and we'll go for vegetarian and vegan sausages.
And some nice meals we're going to make.
My first vegan shop is done, and it's quite a good success. I definitely needed Mum's help and advice because, well, I'm shopping for a whole different diet, a diet that I haven't tried before. So some tips and tricks definitely helped an awful lot. So I'm going to get home now and show you guys what we ended up buying. Mum, thank you very much for joining me, giving me some vegan tips and tricks.
And
Really fun.
fingers crossed to me cooking. Right, see you, Mum.
See you.
So, my shopping is complete. And it looks a lot more vibrant, a lot more colour, which is one of the top tips that Nigel gave me. Seeds, quinoa seeds, flaxseed, got chia seeds as well. I wasn't allowed sausages, but I was allowed vegan sausages. I can still have my pasta bolognese. Top tip from Nigel, tofu. Fruit, and now the key. Swapped out the dairy milk and added oat milk. The only thing left to do is try my hand at some cooking. And put that back in the fridge. Second day as a vegan! Woo! It's my second day as a vegan. And at the moment, it's all been pretty good. Pretty happy, actually. So, I mean, that's a good thing. What I probably should mention, though, is that I'm using a Whoop. Now, this is going to track my sleep, my strain, and a whole host of different things. Now, one thing that Nigel Mitchell did mention is that if I track my heart variability, he'll understand if I'm doing the vegan correctly. Basically, what it means is if I'm getting good sleep and I'm rested because I'm getting the right nutrients in. So, I'll be using a Whoop throughout the month to be able to track that to make sure I'm getting the right nutrients in. And at the moment, well, my sleep's looking pretty good. So I had 8 hours of sleep, 92% performance, and recovery is the one I'm probably gonna go off because that basically shows me how recovered I am. And I'm at the moment 45% recovered. So not too bad. Hopefully it will go into the green and I won't go into the red. But, well, now's the time I should probably have some breakfast. Right, it's 9 AM, and before I go out on my ride, I need a coffee. Well, I've gone for the grey oat milk, barista edition, so I'm hoping that's gonna help. And the almond milk. We'll see which one tastes better, I reckon. I'm no barista, boy do I like a good coffee. Right, first up. Right. Almond milk. Taste one. Next up, the oat milk. So, I've got my oat and I've got my almond. Let's try the oat. Oh, that is up there with the dairy. Oat, you're here to stay. Now you might be wondering what I'm taking out as a snack. Now, I have been eating a lot of fruit in my smoothies. I've been taking them out on the bike, and I generally think that a banana is a really good snack when out on a training ride. But I've also been taking gels and sport nutrition products. Now, Edith, the partners we work with, actually, these are vegan. So I can still take the gels I've been used to. So there we have it. Fruit, a few gels and a few bars, and I'm good to go. But there's also the homemade recipe of the energy balls that Nigel Mitchell's come up with, and I'm yet to try them, but I think today's the day that I open up that menu. So, I'm a couple days into my vegan challenge and it's all going pretty well. I haven't broken any of the vegan rules. I haven't eaten any dairy, meat, or fish. So it was going pretty well, but I haven't really been experimenting with my cooking skills, given I've only really done stir fries and smoothies. So I'm doing the smashed avocado. And it says for breakfast, but I'm doing it as a as kind of a lunchtime snack. I'm 4 days in. How am I finding the vegan diet, you may ask? And pretty good. I mean, I'm enjoying the challenge. It's very different to what I've been used to. I've been used to, well, to be honest, just putting meats, veg, and some carbohydrates in the oven and getting it out. But I feel like the vegan diet makes me think a bit more about what I'm gonna cook. So planning meals is a big thing when it comes to vegan. So yeah, I guess it's been quite fun experimenting in the kitchen, and obviously using the plant-based cycling book, I've been able to, well, learn how to cook vegetables that I didn't really know how to cook before, like stews. I never really did stews, so now I'm on stews. At the moment, things are pretty good. I mean, given 4 days in. So we'll see where that goes. So in order to get all my vegetables in, I've done some research on the internet to find somewhere that delivers vegetables right to my door. And as it happens, I've just come back from my ride and I found a box of vegetables. Given I did have to pay for it, but just £15. And look what I've got. I mean, I've got a whole host of different vegetables here. I've got butternut squash, I've got carrots, I've got cabbage, I've got mushrooms, garlic, definitely parsnips, not turnips, potatoes, leeks. I've got also some herbs, broccoli, peppers. Yeah, I've got a whole array of different things. I'm gonna make these into probably a soup, but I guess I can have some experimental cooking with it all, to be honest. So yeah, if you ask me, that is a win. Off to the fridge and then to the kitchen. On a pretty brisk morning, I've come to the end of 7 days as a vegan. Yes, I've got 3 weeks to go still, but nevertheless, I'm pretty happy. I've had a lot of smoothies. I've had some pretty delicious meals and snacks too, and it's not as difficult as I first thought. It's still a really big challenge though. I've done some good research and I'm going to continue my research on the vegan diet throughout this month. I've done a body check so I know what I'm starting with, what my blood componentry is, and also my sleep variability working with Whoop. So at the end of the month, I'll be able to go through and find out if there's been any changes, if I've gained weight, lost energy, gained energy, or if generally I'm feeling maybe even healthier. When we'll see at the end of the episode. Don't forget though, I'm going to be doing GCN show vlogs every week, so you'll be able to keep up with how I'm getting on. Don't forget though, the vegan diet isn't for everyone, but if you are a vegan or you're doing Veganuary with me, then let me know in the comment section below. Chuck in some recipes. I'm going to need every little bit of help. And thank you so much for everyone who's commented on the GCN show, who's commented, because it's for sure helped, especially those coffees. I mean, the oat milk coffees are amazing, and who knew? Vegan pain au chocolat. So yeah, so thank you. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you at the end of the month or every week at the GCN show. Take care.